Welcome back to What's on Hollywood. Today's video takes us into one of the most extraordinary magical matchups ever imagined, White Raven versus the Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch. These are not ordinary versions of Raven and Wanda. These are their ascended forms, unleashed beyond fear, beyond restraint, and beyond the limits of what most heroes and villains can even comprehend. White Raven represents divine equilibrium, spiritual transcendence, and complete purification from Trigon's corruption. Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch represents chaotic omni-magic, probability detachment, and reality written according to her emotional truth. Both are unstoppable forces, each carrying a cosmic language of power that only a rare few in the multiverse can understand. White Raven emerges when Raven sheds the final remnants of her demonic heritage and channels the essence of pure celestial harmony. Her powers refine into something both terrifying and beautiful, a fusion of spiritual awareness, emotional mastery, and multidimensional magic. She becomes a presence that feels the breath of the multiverse itself, a being who can uplift souls, sever spiritual chains, and silence cosmic darkness. On the other side stands the Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch. This is not Wanda merely tapping into chaos magic. This is Wanda amplified by the darkest grimoire ever created, a book that corrupts the very idea of reality. The Darkhold tears away Wanda's limits and unleashes raw magical potential without boundaries. Every suppressed instinct, every wound, every ancient spark of chaos becomes fuel for an ascension that no spellbook, no prophecy, and no cosmic law can restrain. When Wanda reaches Omega status, she does not bend reality. She becomes the author of reality. This matchup is not a comparison of strength. It is a comparison of philosophies, divine order versus cosmic chaos, harmony versus destruction. And when forces like these collide, the battlefield becomes a war of metaphysics rather than simple power. The true nature of White Raven's power. To understand White Raven, we must first understand what she transcends. Raven's usual existence is a constant struggle between her demonic origin and her human empathy. But in her White Raven form, the struggle ends. She becomes pure spiritual will, untouched by fear, hatred, or corruption. Her powers evolve beyond conflict and become instruments of universal balance. Her soul self expands into a cosmic force capable of interacting with dimensions, emotions, and spiritual ecosystems. Her telepathy sharpens into something that can reach across realms. Her empathy transforms into emotional domination, capable of disarming armies or collapsing hostile consciousnesses. She can restore shattered spirits, dissolve illusions that fool reality, and calm cosmic entities that know only suffering. White Raven also demonstrates unprecedented purification. She can dismantle magical corruption, cleanse dimensional residue, and eliminate demonic auras with a single command. She becomes a harmonic wave, spreading balance across temporal and spiritual planes. But her power does not distort reality, it stabilizes it. She strengthens timelines instead of warping them. She restores existence instead of reconfiguring it. This principle defines her power. She is a cosmic healer, a balancer, a guardian of emotional and metaphysical order. Yet these principles also create limitations. She protects structure, but she does not rewrite it. She upholds stability, but she does not break the rules of existence. In a battle where reality itself becomes the weapon, this difference becomes crucial. The Ascension of Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch. Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch stands at the opposite extreme. She is the embodiment of magical extremity, unrestrained, unpredictable, and omnidirectionally destructive. The Darkhold strips away Wanda's moral restraint and grants her raw, unfiltered chaos magic that surpasses all known boundaries. Her power becomes so vast that it stops behaving like spells and starts functioning as multiversal rewriting. She rewrites memories not only inside minds but inside history itself. She collapses universes without physical contact. She severs souls from their bodies, erases magical beings, and resurrects entities by imposing her narrative onto reality. Probability becomes optional. What should never happen becomes inevitable because Wanda wills it so. Her Omega state erases traditional vulnerabilities. Spells meant to weaken her unravel before she acknowledges them. Barriers meant to trap her collapse under the weight of her emotional force. Chaos magic becomes both shield and storm, reshaping reality before the enemy even understands the threat. This Wanda does not simply overpower foes. She deletes their place in the story. She does not invade dimensions, she rewrites the laws that define dimensional integrity. She does not fight through obstacles, she decides they no longer exist. This is the Wanda who stands against White Raven, an entity operating above the metaphysical structure that Raven is sworn to uphold. When divine order collides with cosmic chaos. Now imagine these two ascended forces meeting on a battlefield shaped by their presence. White Raven steps forward as the embodiment of cosmic equilibrium, reading every emotional ripple, anticipating every shift in energy. She senses the fractures within Wanda's soul, the grief, the rage, the corruption, and tries to stabilize them. But Omega Wanda bends those emotional frequencies into storms of chaos magic that ignore the principles Raven relies on. White Raven expands her soul self across dimensions, but Wanda destabilizes those very dimensions. Raven attempts purification, but chaos magic is not corruption, it is the rewriting of existence. Raven's divine energy hits with brilliance, but Wanda alters the outcome before the impact completes. White Raven can withstand reality distortion for a time, but Wanda's ability to rewrite probabilities makes even Raven's strongest attacks uncertain. Wanda shifts the battlefield into a structure where Raven's dimensional footing collapses. She alters emotional spectra so Raven's empathy cannot anchor. She modifies the metaphysical rules so Raven's stabilizing forces lose influence. The longer the fight goes on, the more Raven's limits begin to show. Her powers are magnificent but principled. Wanda's powers are boundless and unrestrained. This battle exposes a simple truth: order cannot defeat chaos when chaos refuses to acknowledge the laws that define order. White Raven is extraordinary but is still a guardian of a system that Omega Wanda has the ability to rewrite. Final verdict: who is the true superior force? After examining their ascended forms, their metaphysical roles, and the fundamental nature of their abilities, the conclusion becomes unavoidable. White Raven stands as one of DC's most spiritually powerful beings, capable of healing souls, neutralizing demonic entities, and projecting divine energy. She is balance incarnate. She is serenity made manifest. But Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch exists outside balance. She is not governed by cosmic order. She defies probability, dismantles reality, and recodes existence through pure will. In a direct confrontation where both characters unleash their full ascended power, Omega Wanda overwhelms White Raven through sheer metaphysical dominance. Raven can resist, counter, and endure, but she cannot fully suppress or permanently neutralize a being who rewrites the rules of the universe as a defensive action. Therefore, with clarity, consistency, and narrative certainty, the final result stands. Darkhold Omega Scarlet Witch is stronger, more powerful, and the definitive winner of this cosmic battle. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.